graveyard. And the word of God says Ezekiel was taken out into the spirit. And Ezekiel beheld dry bones. And then it says, not only were they dry bones, but he was in a valley. Not just a valley, but an open valley. Let me just walk this for a while, because I did some studying and I found that bones are very important to the human body. Bones are responsible for producing white cells and the red blood cells and the white blood cells. They pick up, and the bones is also responsible for taking carbon dioxide out of our blood. And so I know he just didn't say bones. There was something significant to that. The bone is a rigid organ, and it protects everything on the inside of us. And so when he walked through an open valley and he saw dry bones, he saw people that everything that was in them had been exposed. The white blood cells, it is responsible for protecting the body against bacteria and parasites and infection. And so when that was no longer in place, God was showing Ezekiel that the state of his people were filled of bacteria and infection. We were no longer clean. And I can just imagine Ezekiel as he walked around an open valley. And when I studied valley, I saw that valley is a low place between hills and mountains. And in this instance, the valley was open, therefore it had no covering. And so what God is showing us tonight is, I know that there are some of you have found yourself in a secluded, a low and a dry place. Yes. And the valley in this instance represented the place where the dead lay. And the same as Macon and the Bahamas, we take the dead to a graveyard. And so this is the first part of what I'm going to show to you. Because we no longer have life because our hearts have become dirty. We no longer have life because we have failed to live according to the word of God. And you may look at me funny tonight, but I know that there are some of you in here that know that we don't have it all together. That know, yes, we mess up and we fall short. Yes, I am the church. I'm always early to church, but my heart is a mess. I don't know how to live right. I'm sleeping with somebody else's husband. Somebody in here tonight that's willing to admit that I look alive, but I'm not. And that's why we got no power, and nobody's being healed, and nobody's being delivered, because there is no longer life inside of us. And people come in, and they leave out, and they're the same way that they came. Because we look good, we sound good, but this is where we live. And so you may not see it, but I'm doing praise and worship from the graveyard. You may not see it, but I'm going to the grocery store. I'm going to pay my light bill from the grave. I'm running prayer meetings from a grave. I'm running church services, but I am in a graveyard, and I find myself in a low and desolated place. And the truth of the matter is, I know what I gotta do, but I've run so far. All they told me was I gotta look the part. All they told me was I gotta act the part. And once I look like them, I ask them that I can just be. Prohibit me from being in here. My hairdo, although it's rolled tightly, it doesn't prohibit me from being in here. And so we're in here, and a lot of us, we became comfortable. Let me just walk with you for a while, because you don't mind me sitting in the place where I live? Okay. When he began to talk about dry bones, I saw that not only was the bones there, but they were on the last stage of decomposition. There are 4 stages of decomposition, and the last stage is dry decay. Therefore, the bones have been dead a while, and they found their place in the valley. So some of us, we've been in the same situation for a long time. We've been in the same place for a long time. We've been doing the same thing, going the same places, hanging around the same people for a long time. And we come to church and we fall out and we say we got the victory, and we leave out, and this is where we live. So every night I come home, I look at my sign that says rest in peace. And I go to bed, because the grave will not allow you to be uncomfortable. The grave wants you to be there. So the grave is going to make you comfortable. Let me tell you something. If you want to get out of the grave, you got to scrape your way out. You got to fight your way out, because the grave is going to make you comfortable. It's going to make you comfortable. It's going to make you comfortable. And some of us, we try, and we find ourselves, we're walking around in a graveyard. We're singing, come on and bless the Lord with me. From a graveyard. From a graveyard. We're preaching from a graveyard. We're living in a graveyard. And so I don't care if some of you look at me funny tonight. I didn't came to Macon, Georgia to make any friends. I came tonight